Well, hey everybody, Andy Kvernen here with another Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. Back when I was a younger man, my kids were younger, the boys in particular, I was their football coach. And it was like that 3rd through 6th grade time span. Maybe it was 4th through 6th grade. I don't quite remember now. But I remember being a football coach with our team. I was an assistant coach, and yet I had a lot of leadership responsibilities with the team, doing different things. And our team wasn't very good. And I remember some of those moments where, for me, I was a dad. I played high school football. I knew a few things about technique and about some of those, but really I had no idea what I was doing. And when our football team wasn't good, I remember the kids, the boys, kind of looking up at us, the coaches, the dads, and saying, "What do we do?" And the reality is that we had no clue. There was a great need there. Clearly, we were losing badly in the game. We didn't know how to respond. And it reminds me of the place we get to in Mark chapter 6 today. This is a really tough time for the disciples of Jesus. It's a tough time for Jesus. John the Baptist has just died, and news is getting around, and it's this really difficult thing. And here they are, and they're with Jesus, and they're trying to withdraw to a desolate place, it says in Mark 6, verse 31, and to rest. And yet on their way, the crowds get wind of where they are, and everybody knows that Jesus is this great healer. He's done these miracles. His reputation is really spreading like wildfire, and everybody tracks them down. And the next thing they know, here in this exhausted state, there's this massive crowd with great need. And I love what happens here in the narrative. I want to start in verse 34. It says, "Now when he went ashore and saw a great crowd," referring to Jesus, "he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things." You can imagine the disciples are like, "Jesus, can't you just tell them to go away for once?" And Jesus is like, "No, these are the people that need the message I am sharing." And so he has compassion on them and he teaches them. Verse 35, "When it grew late, his disciples came to him and said, 'This is a desolate place, and the hour is now late. Send them away to go into the surrounding countryside and villages and buy themselves something to eat.'" Here the disciples, again, there's just this great evidence that they're kind of on the edge. They're toast. They're burned out. They're emotionally spent. And they're saying to Jesus, "Look, we got nothing for these people here. They're hungry, and stuff's going to start getting really ornery and tough if these hangry people don't get some food really soon. You better send them away and let them take care of themselves." So, of course, leave it to the disciples to think only in human terms. I love what Jesus responds here in verse 37. He says this. It says, "But he answered them, 'You give them something to eat.'" You give them something to eat. Coach, you tell them what to do so that they can win the game. What? The disciples, you can imagine they're stunned. Us give them something to eat? We don't have any food. Jesus, we've been with you the whole time. You know we don't have any food. But this is what happens. It says, "And they said to him, 'Shall we go and buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give it to them to eat?'" In other words, are you kidding? Right? Yeah, sometimes the Greek is really easy to translate there. Are you kidding? "And he said to them, 'Well, how many loaves do you have? Go and see.' And when they found out, they said, 5 and 2 fish," almost in jest. I mean, you can kind of hear the sarcasm dripping off of their voice. All these 5,000 people, these men, plus their wives and children, we got nothing. We got 5 loaves and 2 fish. What are you going to do with that, Jesus? And then he commanded them all to sit down in groups on the green grass. Here's where it gets amazing. See, sometimes you and I, we end up in a position where we don't know how we're gonna feed the people we've been called to serve. We don't know what the answer is for our kids. We don't know how to deal with the problem that they're facing and that they're bringing to us. We don't know the solution in our workplace to make the right decision to help the business move forward. We don't know. We don't know how to heal our marriage. We don't know how to reach our neighborhood. But here's what Jesus does. He says, "How much do you have? Bring that to me." You feed them. It's your job. But bring me what you have. Don't bring me what you don't have, because you can't. Just bring me what you got, and then watch this. So it says in verse 39, "Then he commanded them all to sit down in groups on the green grass. And so they sat down in groups by hundreds and by 50s. And taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and said a blessing and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples to set before the people. And he divided the 2 fish among them all. And they all ate and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces and of the fish. And those who ate the loaves were 5,000 men." What does Jesus do? He says, look, just bring me what you got. I'm not concerned about what you don't have. I'm the one who supplies all of this anyway. I'm zero concerned with what you don't have. Just bring me what you have and watch me do the rest. And friends, so often I think we overcomplicate life. We overcomplicate different situations. And we worry about those things that we don't have the faculty or the resources to address. I'm not wise enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not resilient enough. I'm not whatever. Jesus says, just bring me what you got and trust me for the rest. Friends, I don't know what you're dealing with today. I don't know what struggle you have, but I do know this. I do know that our God is the kind of God that takes 5 loaves and 2 fishes and feeds 5,000 men plus their wives and children. He's that kind of God. He's got that kind of capability. And so stop worrying today about what you don't have and start trusting God for what He has and bring to Him what you do and watch God do the rest. I don't know exactly how that'll look. I don't know that there'll be some massive miracle, but I do know that what God requires of you, God provides. Rest in that truth today. God bless you, friends. Have a great day. And Lord willing, we'll see you again soon on the Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional.